Former Prime Minister Allen Chastanet has been out of St. Lucia for months on a long break. However, that does not mean he has not been at work. The leader of the opposition revealed during a telephone interview on UWP Media on Tuesday that he has been advising a private company in establishing an equity fund on private-public partnerships for the Caribbean. Chastanet divulged he has been astounded on his travels by the level of investment in other territories. He believes this lends credence to the case for the much-maligned previous UWP administration's ambitious capital works projects.
One of the things that I'm doing right now, because you've not asked me that in terms of some of the other things that I'm doing currently, I'm actually working with and advising some people who are putting together an equity fund for the Caribbean. Which I think is going to be absolutely necessary, given the financial fallout not only in St. Lucia but also in other countries. And it's giving me the opportunity to visit some of the other Caribbean islands.
Okay.
And where is it that many people were thinking that the projects that we were doing in St. Lucia were overambitious? You've heard that, right, Champagne?
All the time, especially by the Labour Party.
I can tell you that if just doing our project would keep us equal with some of the things. I mean, Puerto Rico got $33 billion.
Wow.
From the U.S. Virgin Islands have gotten $12 billion. Jamaica is just booming.
The Micoud South MP, who is reportedly in North America with his family, says the equity, which is about building resilience, looks to raise hundreds of millions of dollars in funding.
Are you working on this project to benefit St. Lucia? Is St. Lucia mentioned in this project?
Yeah, it's called the Caribbean Resilience Fund. So obviously St. Lucia is part of the Caribbean.
So is it a governmental? Is it a governmental project? Because someone would hear you saying that, and they say that you're not in government.
No.
Oh, okay.
It's a private company. They've raised $250 million so far.
Okay.
And the goal is to raise $500 million in the first instance, in phase one.
Yeah.
And they're looking to through PPPs with government and then through the private sector, strategic assets that are struggling right now, what we would call distressed assets, for them to be able to table. Now, the difference here is they're actually bringing equity.
The former Prime Minister claims the work being done by the group is unprecedented in scale in terms of equity funding, especially in a region reliant on debt financing.
Equity, this has never happened in our region, and particularly bringing the equity money is coming from the Middle East as well as coming from the financial institutions in the U.S. That has never happened before.
Okay.
And this is a huge change, and we're hoping that it can be successful and it can continue to grow, because certainly the Caribbean is in need of equity financing and not continuing having to borrow money.
Chastanet expressed frustration at what he perceives as St. Lucia's historical reluctance to embrace the pro-growth model of development of which he has long been a proponent.
It's just astonishing to see what's going on in these other countries. And so St. Lucia needs to get its act together. I don't know why we're so scared as a country to progress. And we don't seem to be able to have the dialogue that's necessary.
The former UWP administration was pillared for a seeming overemphasis on capital works projects such as roads, buildings, bridges and other infrastructure at the expense of what critics say was much-needed social support for the poor during the pandemic. Chastanet continues to be sharply scrutinized for his prolonged absence from St. Lucia and his non-attendance at parliamentary sittings in the aftermath of the UWP shellacking at the July 26 polls. The former Prime Minister revealed that he is going through a period of self-introspection before deciding on his long-term political future. Joachim Duplessis, HTS News Force.